Good morning. Happy Monday. If you feel like joining me as I make meal decisions that will cause me to lose weight without being in any sort of diet food misery, then this video is for you, so keep on watching. Welcome, my name is Brianna. I am the diva behind Diva and the Divine, and I share all different areas of my life, and most recently a journey to try and lose some amount of weight that we don't really know yet because I don't have a goal weight, but I do know that I desire to weigh less than I do now. And so we're sharing bits and pieces of that today. And what I want to talk to you about / show you is a day in my life where I'm eating food that makes me happy. Because here's the thing. I have done the lose a whole bunch of weight thing, being heavily restricted and damaging my relationship with food and eating rice cakes and 100-calorie packs, which is basically just not nearly as delicious versions of our favorite food that we tried to diet down and justify eating. I've done all of the artificial sweeteners that have wreaked havoc on my digestive system. And to be clear, artificial sweeteners meaning like sugar alcohols, the ones that are better for you. My body actually processes things like sucralose really well, which is an artificial sweetener that is supposedly bad for you as well, but that's a story for a little bit later. All of that to say, I've done it. I've done it all, right? And this time around it's going to be different. Why? Because I believe that food is meant to take pleasure in. I believe that eating food is a joy. I believe it should be enjoyable. I believe that I should do a little happy dance whenever I eat food. And I am learning and going to be sharing how I make sure that little happy dance happens while I'm losing weight. So I'm glad you're here. Happy Monday. It's supposed to be 75 degrees, sunny and 75 degrees in the Twin Cities. And I live for this. I live for this. I'm in a tank top, as you can tell. I'm also in shorts. I'm so happy. Right now it is 64 degrees. The windows are open. Eventually my husband's gonna make us close the windows because our house turns into like a little greenhouse thing and he gets too hot. If it was me, I'd have the windows open all day long. I wouldn't close the windows until it was like 77 degrees. But you compromise in marriage, right? And I just saw a wasp fly by our window, which means we're gonna have to start being on wasp nest alert. Every year, these little buggers decide that our house is the right place to put up their nest. We destroy the beginning pieces, like when they're golf ball size, of wasp nests. We destroy at least 4 or 5 of them every single year. Every year. Because these stupid things think that our house is the right house. And they would be wrong. They would be very wrong. Anyway, I digress. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we are having a slower but still very productive Housewife Monday. Why slow? My temperature dropped this morning, which means Aunt Flo is a knocking on the door. And yesterday, I also had a very, very busy Sunday. I sang in church. I'm a member of the worship team on my church, and I perform in front of I don't even know how many people once a month, and it's one of the biggest joys of my life. And we also have not one, but 2 small groups that we are participating in. And the Sunday night small group meets at our house. It's our group that we are hosting. And so I was up at 5 o'clock last night. I was, see how it's going? I was up at 5 a.m. yesterday after being out playing games with friends until way too late. And so I only got my Oura ring says I got 4 hours and 52 minutes of sleep the night before. That's not good for me. I thrive on 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So I was hurting yesterday, but we had that to do. Then we had to make sure the house was clean. And then we had to go to an event at church. And then we had a later version of our small group because of the event at church. It was a whole thing. I went to bed at 10 o'clock, utterly exhausted. And I slept for 9 hours last night. And I'm getting it up there, but with Aunt Flo knocking, that's also dinging my energy, my disability dinging my energy. So we're just going with the flow on this blessed, beautiful Monday. And we're gonna go grocery shopping. We're gonna do the laundry because that needs to get done. We're gonna do some work in the office as a YouTuber, and it's going to be a great day. I have plans for dinner. I'm gonna share with you what I'm eating today to enjoy weight loss. So I'll be eating in a calorie deficit, but all food that I really, really enjoy. And it might not be food that you enjoy, but know this, everything that passes my lips is a food that makes me so incredibly happy. And I can't wait to share that with you. So thank you for being here. Let's go have a Monday. I suppose I should actually start by telling you what's in my coffee. This is my second cup of coffee for the day. And in my coffee today, I have a combination of full fat half and half and peppermint nut pods. Peppermint nut pods are my favorite non-dairy creamer. I do not like sweetened creamers in my coffee anymore, but flavored creamers are okay as long as they're not sweetened. So nut pods is one of my favorite. Yes, I know that they have sweetened versions now. I have tried them. I do not like them, but the unsweetened versions slap every time. I love them. So one of my favorite ones to date, this has not been surpassed yet, is the peppermint mocha. So when they launch in October, November, your girl buys a pack of 12. I buy the big pack that costs like $47, but that pack of 12 lasts me until about July or August, and sometimes longer. This year it might last me longer, although their best by date is July, late July, so I'm hoping to finish them by then. Anyway, I digress. They're 10 calories per tablespoon and it's fat, not carbohydrate. And I love that. I love it. They taste good. They're creamy, but I have really been loving half and half in my coffee. For the last 6 months or so, half and half in my coffee has been my go-to, even above the nut pods, even during Christmas season. And that's saying something because there's just something so good about it. And so how I enjoy my coffee is making sure that I'm enjoying my coffee. I don't put in heaps and heaps and tablespoons of sugary sweetened creamer. I will not use sugar-free creamer anymore. I just put in a little bit, just enough. Can you see? Just enough to color it a bit. So this ends up being about between 1 tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of half and half between the 2 cups of coffee, and 1 to 2 tablespoons. I don't measure. I'll be honest with you, I don't measure. But occasionally I'll throw my thing on the scale and weigh out what I'm doing just to see where my natural sploosh lands, and it lands at about a tablespoon. It lands at about 1 serving. So I've gotten really good at getting 1 serving in my cup without trying. So it's between 1 to 2 tablespoons of half and half, usually on the lower end because a little bit of half and half goes a long way, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of nut pods for my 2 cups of coffee. And it's worth it because it's delicious and it brings me joy every single morning. Okay, so something important to understand when I'm creating my food is most of the time I am living by a generalized nutritional philosophy of prioritizing specific nutrients to make sure that my body is getting everything that it needs. And if you've been around here for a while, you know what they are. The answer is protein and fiber. And so I thought I'd give you a walkthrough of how I use the food to create something delicious, but also something that aligns with my nutritional philosophy. There's also something else important to know, and that is one of my May goals for this month is to eat 5 plants every single day. Notice how I say plants and not fruits or vegetables, because things like beans and legumes and grains, they all count as plants too, and thus they're actually the things that contain more fiber and good for the gut stuff than even vegetables and fruits. Yes, they have some, but in terms of like, if you think of a cucumber, you're not going to get a whole lot of fiber out of a cucumber. It's like 98% water. You're not going to get a whole lot out of that. But if you have a cup of lentils, you're going to get so much fiber out of a cup of lentils. So the beans and grains and legumes are actually more of your fiber powerhouses than your vegetables are. It doesn't mean we don't need vegetables. We need all of the micronutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, and the essential things in the vegetables and fruits as well. So do not discount the fruits and vegetables for the sake of fiber, but that's the reason why I am making sure that I'm eating different plants every day. So I have a goal of eating at least 5 different plants every day, which I have accomplished in this breakfast alone, by the way. And I have a goal of eating 30 different plants every single week. Yes, it's a lot. Yes, it means, and you're going to see this later, it means that bulk buying produce isn't necessarily the way, as opposed to buying 2 apples, a few bananas, maybe a peach, maybe a pear, something to switch it up so I get all of those different varieties in my system throughout the week. So with that being said, my breakfast is not beautiful, but it's delicious. There's an English muffin. And on the English muffin, so I do the Thomas's Light English Muffins, which are amazing. They taste just as good to me as regular English muffins do. So I have no problem making that dietary swap. Some things I will not make the dietary swap. I will no longer eat fat-free cheese. You could not pay me to eat fat-free cheese. It's junk. So I eat full-fat cheese. We actually have some really high-quality cheese in our refrigerator, which is a great treat. So I do not eat fat-free cheese anymore. Light English muffins, love them. So I got this, the Good Foods Feta Cucumber Dip. It is empty, but I put the lid on just for, you know, aesthetics, in my Hungry Root box. And oh my gosh, this is freaking amazing. And it's Greek yogurt based. It is reduced fat Greek yogurt based. So for 2 tablespoons, it's 40 calories and there's 3 grams of protein in here, y'all. 3 grams of protein in here, and it is so good. So I have the last little bit of that smeared on my English muffin. And then today I usually do like eggs over easy or whatever you call them, where it's like the runny yolk. I just didn't have time for that today, and I wanted to get more protein. So instead of 2 eggs, I have 1 egg and I have 2 servings of liquid egg whites. I have sauteed in a couple of cherry tomatoes. So there's a plant, cherry tomatoes, this little mixture of baby bella mushrooms, that's 2, garlic, that's 3, onions, that's 4, and then the wheat from the bread counts. So that's 5. And then there's dill in the tzatziki dip as well, which is 6. So there are 6 plants in my food, which is amazing. So I have this mixture, the cherry tomatoes, and I put some extra feta cheese in as well. So the grand total for my meal is roughly 370 calories, 31 grams of protein, and 8 grams of fiber, which is a knockout way to start my day, even though it is 11:30. You eat when you're hungry. Let's do a quick part 1 grocery haul. This is from Sam's Club. I went there for eggs, and thankfully this time around they did have my pasture-raised eggs. We love these eggs. They're high quality, good pasture-raised eggs and reasonably priced, even though since the whole egg prices shooting up, bird flu debacle, these have gone up about $1 in price. They're still, it's like 6 something for 1.5 dozen pasture raised eggs, which is still cheaper than you would pay for 1 dozen of on-brand pasture raised eggs. So the price is still unbeatable. We needed more Cascade Platinum dishwasher tabs. The raspberries were reasonably priced and looked good and fresh. Organic strawberries were reasonably priced and looked good. Dave's Killer Bread was in stock, so I got 2. And then Sam's Club now has the Amalu chicken mini links for breakfast, maple breakfast sausage, and my husband has actually been eating the Amalu breakfast sausages now. So I got those for him so he can get some extra protein. And then I went over to Aldi for this. I can credit a member of my private membership community for this. She posted this on the Discord channel today and found these at Aldi, and look, 4 grams of fiber. Where is it? 4 grams of fiber in a little chocolate bar. So what these are, I love these. If you've never had these, they are reasonably priced. Watch this. Wait, where's my open one? Reasonably priced, individually wrapped, multi-serving chocolate bars. Why, yes, there is one missing because I ate one as an in-car, in-between store snack because I was getting really hungry and wanted something. And y'all, these are incredible. They're really good if you like dark chocolate. And here's the thing, I prefer milk chocolate to dark chocolate, and this was so satisfying. So stinking satisfying. So I am a big fan, primarily because dark chocolate is a cycle syncing food that is in sync with where I'm at in my cycle, which is ant flow is a knocking and could show up at any second. And so this is actually a cycle syncing food, which is amazing. And they were really good. So I got 2 of the chocolate mousse chocolate cream filled ones and then 1 of the orange ones as well, which has 10 calories less and 1 gram of fiber less, which is fine, you know. But did y'all know, first of all, that this like chocolate cacao counts as a plant? So there's that. But also it's got fiber in it. Like the darker the chocolate, the better it is for you. And it's got fiber in it. So next time you're thinking like, oh, cocoa powder and oh, dark chocolate, look at the fiber content, y'all, because you'll be able to sneak in some fiber in your chocolate. And so I had a deliciously decadent chocolate cycle synced snack that gave me 4 grams of fiber. Can't complain about that. So these were $2.99 a piece, but 5 bars in each one. So 15 bars for $9. Not bad. Also worth noting, the other thing I ate while I was on the road is this. This is the peanut butter and jelly True Bar. Y'all, I'm obsessed with True Bars right now. Utterly and completely obsessed with them. And this bar is, it's so good. It tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's so good. And so you're probably sitting there going, Brianna, road chocolate and a protein bar? I thought you were going to share with me food that makes you not in diet misery. Y'all, I freaking love these. I love them. I look forward to them. I sometimes have to be like, no, you can't have 2 of these in a day because they're that good. 190 calories, 12 grams of protein, 12 grams of fiber. Unmatched. So between the chocolate bar and the True Bar, I had 380 calories, almost 400 calories, with 16 grams of fiber. Y'all, my minimum daily fiber requirement's done. It's done. I'm at 24 grams of fiber. You need 25 technically, but like that's easy. The extra 1 you obtain in other things, right? So I'm essentially done with my fiber requirement for the day. Nailed it. I'm done with my 5 plants for the day. Nailed it. So we're doing great. And these bring me joy. Literally, I'm doing the happy dance as I'm eating it in the car. I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. The best part, y'all, a little bit of information about these. You can buy them online. If you do, I do have a discount code. I signed up for their affiliate program. You can use the code Diva and get a discount. I think it's 15%. It could be 10, but I'm pretty sure it's 15. So if you want to try any and all of the flavors there, go ahead and order from them. But y'all, if you have a Sam's Club membership or a Costco membership, you can get them a lot cheaper. Sam's Club has a dual pack that's the chocolate chip cookie dough flavored, which is incredible, and the maple glazed donut, or is it maple glazed or just glazed donut? I can't remember which one, but either way, it's they're good. The glazed donut is not my favorite one, but it is still very, very good. Plain glazed donuts aren't my favorite kind of donut, so it makes perfect sense. The Costco package is the OO cookie dough and these. I will go to Costco just to restock on my True Bar because they're 2 of my favorite flavors. Other flavors worth mentioning, the mint ones, which I have every freaking time. There is a mint chocolate one that is insane. It is so good. If you like mint chocolate, it is like a candy bar. It is so good. I have found on Amazon, birthday cake, unmatched. Cookies and cream, really good. And the next ones that are on my I want to try them, but I haven't yet, so I can't tell you about them. On Amazon, they have a coconut macaroon one, which I would like to try. And then on their website only, I have not found these anywhere else, they have strawberry shortcake and they have key lime pie. I want to try all of those, but I have not yet. So ultimately, I love these. And so for me, this is a way to keep me out of diet misery. For lunch, I freaking eat chocolate, y'all. Chocolate and a protein bar that makes my heart happy. So it was on the go, yes, but that's fine. I cooked breakfast, I'm gonna be cooking dinner, and I'm satisfied, I'm full, and now I'm not going to Target hungry, which is super important. You remember how I said that the food needs to make me dance? Just picked one of these up and ate them. Here's another plant for my day, but organic strawberries taste like candy. Or maybe it's just that it's almost summer now and so the strawberries taste better, but so good. Healthy food can be so good and dance worthy. It really can be. I've just returned from Target, and while my husband helped me put about 80% of the groceries away, I thought I would leave out a couple of honorable mentions here. Groceries and things. I got myself a pizza pan. I don't have a pizza pan, and there are a couple of things that I want to make that require round pans and don't fit on any of our current pans, so I got one of those. Fantastic. We got bananas, great. So these are the 2 things I wanted to mention. And the first one is, let's start with these. These Stonefire naan rounds. Okay, why is this important? I am a big fan of naan. I don't eat it often because in terms of the macro balance of like protein and fiber specifically, it doesn't typically have a lot of fiber in it, but I love the texture of naan. I love the taste of naan. I'm a bread person and I think naan is really good bread. So I picked these up one day and was shocked to see that for 2 non-slices here, they had 4 grams of fiber and 5 grams of protein. Like, that's actually a pretty reasonable balance for 180 calories. And then as I was looking at all other brands of naan and even other naan products from the Stonefire brand, there's something about these rounds that have, proportionally to the varying calorie densities, this has the most fiber in it. I don't know why. I don't know what they do to this that's different that gives it more fiber, but these naans that are like these little, they remind me of, if you ever grew up eating pizza Lunchables, they remind me of the pieces of bread, but more delicious. The pieces, like the base for the pizza Lunchable. That's what it reminds me of. Don't think I haven't thought about making my own pizza Lunchable out of these. The second thing I got for myself was these. Have y'all ever had these Izzy's sparkling juices? I had not until Saturday. And we were at a friend's house and I didn't feel like drinking, but they had the blackberry version of these in their refrigerator. So I had one of those and they're incredible. Incredible. So I started reading about them and they're sparkling juice with no added sugar, no additional like artificial sweeteners, nothing like that. It's sparkling juice. So for the 8-ounce container, 8.4 technically, it is 70 calories and there is 14 grams of sugar in it, but it's all derived from the fruit concentrates, which is not so bad. Actually, if you're thinking about it and you're sitting there wanting to down, 2 or 3 alcoholic beverages, you're consuming more calories and less healthy things for you than what you would be doing with one of these. So they have some very intriguing flavors. I tried the blackberry and I thought blackberry was incredible. So like, I love strawberry. I don't think I can go wrong with strawberry. So we'll see how the strawberry one tastes. I'm very excited about that. And then they were having a book sale, y'all. They were having a book sale and I had a gift card to burn. So the book sale was buy one, get one 50% off. So I perused the app to see what the on sale books were and purchased. I added them to the cart and then I was like, okay, I need to make sure I have 6. One of them was out of stock. So that being said, I have to go back on my receipt and see if they gave me the 50% off price for this. And if they didn't, I'm going to return this and keep the other ones. So this one, I've never heard of this before, but it came up multiple times because there are apparently different versions of this book. So this is called Burn After Writing and it's a journal. And the whole thing here was like, the world has become our giant confessional. In a reversal of this trend, Burn After Writing encourages you to share nothing. So you're journaling and like filling in all of these prompts about yourself, and it's meant to just be an offline activity. Smartest choice I made as a teenager, top 5 celebrities, creative geniuses, like all sorts of just things about you, which I thought was a really interesting way to just like journal and reflect on who you are. I could see this as something where if I enjoy it, like I date it. So I date it like summer 2025 and then do I buy another one in 5 years and do it again and see if the answers are different? I don't know. It just looked interesting to me. So that's the one non-book one, but it counted as a book that I got. I sucked it up and got the Let Them Theory, y'all. I sucked it up. Here's the thing. People either love Mel Robbins or hate Mel Robbins. I am somebody where she kind of gives me the ick. I'm not going to lie, but some of her stuff is valid. It might be stolen or plagiarized or actually someone else's idea, which is what I've heard the Let Them Theory actually is. But she puts it out there in such a way where it's actually valuable information to consume, even if she doesn't deserve the credit for it. Okay, so I am putting everybody's thoughts and feelings and even my own thoughts and feelings on the book, on Mel Robbins, to the side, and I'm just going to read the book and allow myself to formulate my own opinion. So I bought the Let Them Theory. I bought The Psychology of Money. This is a book that I heard about recently that is supposed to be really, really good. Another one that it is thick. She's thick, guys. The 5 Types of Wealth, I also heard was an incredible book. Incredible book. Time, social, mental, physical, and financial wealth. So I'm very excited to read that. And then this one just looked interesting. I don't know what it's about. This is another 1 million copies sold worldwide. Good Vibes, Good Life. How Self-Love is the Key to Unlocking Your Greatness. We'll see. We'll see if I agree with it, if I disagree with it. I don't know, but it sounded interesting. So And the other book that I tried to get was T is for Tuberculosis, which is one of the Sharon Says So book club books for this semester. So I figured maybe I'd get one since it was available, but it was not in stock because everybody is in Sharon Says So's book club and selling out the book. So my store was sold out, unfortunately. So that's what I got. All right, y'all, here is my dinner. This is a hungry root recipe as well. So all of this came in my hungry root box, and this is a garlic salmon with farro and pan-fried zucchini. So we made the salmon and put this Booby's original dipping sauce on top of it, and that's the thing. There's actually some left. I haven't used one of these is supposed to be for the entire plate, and there are 2 plates here. I didn't use the whole one on my plate, and my husband's not sure if he wants it, so I might have this to mess around with later. And then I got some zucchini, and then instead of, this was actually supposed to come with rice, and I decided I didn't want the rice, so instead I got, for many fewer calories for more food, I got pearled farro, and I have about half of the container in here, which is only like 160 calories or 155, and I'm very excited about it. So I actually put some of the sauce in the farro as well to mix it up, but like that's a pretty decent sized serving for 150 calories. Really, really a fan. So again, super flavorful, delicious, healthy and nourishing. It's got protein, it's got fat, it's got some fiber, vegetables. Fantastic.